Hello there, this is Kerwin, and welcome to another episode of Travel Talk. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about what else? Delta. So there's more news, but stay tuned. Let's go. So I think last week, Delta came out and said, hey, we are revamping our frequent flyer program called SkyMiles. And one of the main reasons was because the lounges in the airports are very busy. So people have to wait. And the reason why they're busy is that they really have too many customers. Too many customers with status, too many customers with a credit card that have perks for them to get into the lounges. And so on the outside, that's what it looks like. I don't have any numbers, but the lounges are always packed and there's always people waiting. And so what Delta decided to do was we're going to adjust our program. And so there's a whole video that I talk about what they go into what's called MQDs. And there's a whole video that talks about all that. So I'll leave a link to that video in the details so you can check that out. But as a result of that announcement, so the airline industry is interesting. They're always watching. There's always something going on. And so whenever you have any big changes, one airline does something, the other airline will never go, oh my God, that is so awful. They'll never do that because they know that this may happen to them at some point, and it's just common courtesy. They all know each other. They all go to the same meetings because they're the industry meetings. They all probably play golf together. Yeah, their kids probably go to the same schools. Well, maybe not, depending on where they live, right? But they all know each other. And so you'll never publicly criticize another airline. It's an industry thing, right? You don't normally, even if they're your competition and you're a fierce competitor, you don't usually criticize them in public. However, behind the scenes, though, they're like, opportunity. We have all these Delta people who are annoyed. How can we get them into our program? Now, what they need to be careful of and what they looks like they're doing, they don't want to get everybody over, right? Because then it'll make their program, too many people in their program. And also they want to get the money. So they've come up with what's called status matches. Status match is not new. What a status match is exactly that. One airline matches your status with status in their airline. Sometimes the statuses are not the same. So for example, if you're Golden Delta, you may not be Golden American because they don't match. So what they'll do, they'll say, well, if you're Golden Delta, or if you're, let's say you're Gold, just for argument's sake, excuse me, they may say, if you're Golden Delta, I'll bring you over to the American and you become Platinum. Because when they look at the two programs, that's what matches. Normally for a status match, you have some kind of amount of money you have to spend within a specific time period. And so there are things you have to do. Sometimes you can just pay your way in. I remember one year American had a thing where you could just pay X number of dollars and you're gold. That X number of dollars was less than what I needed to actually become gold. So I just paid it. This was years ago. There's another time that they had another status match that you had to take like a specific number of flights or spend a specific amount of money within a certain time period. Now, what they'll do, they'll give you the status for 90 days or something like that. And then you have that 90 days to get to where you need to go. All the airlines have some semblance of this. What's different about these two is that JetBlue threw their hats in the ring and said, hey, we'll give you Mosaic status. So that's one of the status on JetBlue. If you have these Delta status, and you have to do it by a certain amount of time, otherwise it's no go. Well, Alaska said it first, and now Mosaic is saying it, JetBlue is saying it now. With Alaska, it's something similar. You have to do something by a specific amount of time, and then we're going to transfer some specific statuses. The cool thing about the Alaska one is when you get the Alaska status, you also get One World status with it. depending on the level that you get. And when you get that one world status, it means that when you fly American Airlines, which is a one world partner, you'll be eligible for upgrades. So that one is actually a cool one. And of course, whenever you get a status into any of the alliances, you get some type of perk that goes with it. One of the perk is lounge access, except if you get Alaska, they have Ruby and Emerald. If you get the Alaska status, you could probably go into the British Airways lounge and also into the Iberia lounge, but you can't go into the American lounge because normally when you get the one world status, you can't use the lounge with your originating airline, or I think it's actually you can't use the lounge with the airline in your country. So you wouldn't be able to use an Admiral's Club, but you would be able to use a British Airways Executive Club. It's very weird how the airlines do it. Same thing with well, the other one is only JetBlue, and JetBlue is not an airline. So Delta has been quiet since they made the announcement. United hasn't jumped into the fray yet, but United already have a status match in place. You can basically just go search for United status match. I'll put a link to it as well. And you can find out what their requirements are. And if you qualify, it's almost immediate. You put your information in, immediately it says, yep, you're approved. And then when you go sign into your United account, you have the status. And then you have to do whatever they say, otherwise you lose it on whatever particular date it is. So it's very competitive times. It's very exciting because, people are jumping ship or they don't know if they're going to jump ship, but the airlines are secretly mooching other people's statuses. So check it out. This is Kerwin with passport.com and Cruisinaltitude.com. Make sure you check out the notes. And if you like this video, subscribe, share. I really appreciate it. And let me know how I'm doing. I mean, I don't know because I don't get much comments. I don't know how I'm doing. But let me know. And thank you so much. And we'll talk soon. Yay for status matches. Oh, have a great trip.